And I'll count us in. Three, two, one.
Welcome to episode 126 of the Narcissistic Music Disorder.
Good morning, Scotty.
What's happening, buddy?
Nothing. What's new in my world? Is there anything? It seems like there's some. Oh, God, I've been dying to talk to you about this too. So you and I think, have both. This might be unpopular, but I think you and I can both agree we've sort of taken a break on Jason Isbell, right? Like we like him, but he hasn't really been hooking us as of late. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So agreed. I'm in the same boat. But um, what was the album before? This one's called Weather Vanes. Or the one before this, I can't think of what it was called. Reunions. That doesn't feel
Reunions.
Right. Is that what it was? Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Because anyhow, there was a song called It Gets Easier off that album that I've got hooked on. But dude, there's a song on Weather Vanes that got me. I was watching Austin City Limits and the dude played King of Oklahoma.
Yeah. About the
the dude who's hooked on pills.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that's a great song.
Great song.
It's a great, there's some, you talk about some songwriting, that's him at his best, dude. That is a kick-ass song, man. I've been listening to it on repeat. Of course, I learned it. I actually played like a quarter of it yesterday at my gig just because I hadn't learned it yet, but I tried a quarter of it or something. Nobody knew.
Lines about his wife's slippers and things like that.
Yeah. And I'd hear her homemade house shoes.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Shuffle across the floor there. Yeah.
And he talks about, the whole thing is the premise is the dude starts out, they're going to rob this work site of all the copper pipe.
Yeah.
And it's just really good.
Breakfast every morning.
She used to wake me up with coffee every morning.
Yep.
He's at his best on that tune. So I recommend that to anybody who might be interested. And let's get with the getting. What's today's topic? And then I'll comment.
Today's topic is the albums of 1988.
I was trying to think, right? In 88. I guess in 88, I was probably a junior in high school. Dude, I was
15. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I was 15.
Yeah, and I would have been in 88. I feel like,
you were 15 in April or 16 in April.
In April, yeah. So I was 16, I guess. That would have been maybe my sophomore, freshman year. I don't remember.
Yep. But, sophomore or freshman, yeah. I was a freshman.
I know by this time, by 88, I had just at that April gotten my license, and I was starting to listen to music in the car, which is what my son does now. He has a huge playlist but some of these, man, are just classics for me from that era that I just loved them so much. There were some great albums released in 88.
Every single one of these, yes, there was. Every single one of these on my list, except for one I was listening to.
Let me check. I'm going to check mine.
All but one.
I'm going to say on mine, I'm going to mark them right now. I'm going to put a question mark about that. I have one that I definitely was not listening to. Probably two. You know what I'm going to say? I wasn't listening to that either. I don't think I was. The rest, I'm the same way. I had them in the car, the whole thing. And going into 89, of course. Some great stuff. This is just a great year for me. These releases. I do have one that you might be pissed about.
Because we're gonna match up on at least something, I think.
I wonder. I have one here that I know you might protest because it's a soundtrack, but it was a release. It was an official release from this band to accompany a film. So we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah,
when we get to it.
I know.
Okay, when we get to it, when I bring that up, I'm going to mark that so I ask you before I say it. So let's get this thing fired up. What's your number one from 19, or not number one, but your first pick from 88?
Well, Britney Fox, the self-titled record from Britney Fox.
Do you remember how they came on your radar?
MTV.
Video? You saw a video for Long Way to Love
Girl School or Long Way to Love, one of those, yeah.
So I saw them. Now, when I tell you who I saw them with, you're going to laugh because it would be like seeing the same band twice. I saw them with Cinderella.
Okay, yeah.
Which, we were just talking about this. Me and my buddies in American Hair Band were just talking about this. So I think his name was Michael Kelly Smith, the guitar player in
Yes.
Britney Fox. He was in Cinderella at one. He was like the original Cinderella guitarist or something.
Before Jeff LaBar.
There's some overlap there, right?
Okay.
And then I think like Tom Keeper and those guys helped get Britney Fox their record deal.
Okay.
And they had what, 2 singles off this record, the self-titled. They had Long Way to Love and Girls School.
Girls School, yeah.
There might have been a ballad, but I feel like that was off the next album, Boys in Heat. Because the Boys in Heat record, the one that came after this, had I think there was a single, a ballad called Save Your Love or something like that. But there was also that cover of the Nazareth tune, Hair of the Dog.
Yep.
Which is, they do a great cover of it. And there was also another cover on, I think, that Boys in Heat album, Goodbye to Jane, the Slade tune.
That was on the first one.
Was that on the debut?
That was on the self-titled record.
They do
that's
a
a
great
great cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were cool, man. I saw them in concert. They looked cool. They were a big, I don't know, extensions or wigs, but they had like too much hair that human heads don't grow. And then you had Dizzy Dean Davidson, who went on to be in Black Eyed Susan.
Black Eyed Susan, yep.
And I think has a solo career of some sort. He had a unique voice, dude.
Yeah.
His scream, you know, was just the bomb.
And he didn't really do that as much in Black Eyed Susan.
You had said that because you followed over, right? Did you?
Yeah, I have a couple of those records.
Yeah.
I know I have the first, the big one, the first one that they put out, but I think I have a couple.
Yeah, I mean, the debut album, the Britney Fox debut, was really good. I mean, I love like Long Way to Love, that galloping kind of thing. I mean, that's killer. I can play it right now. I love it. We always goof with it at practice with the hairband because it's such a cool song. It's hard to sing, of course, but
yeah.
But actually, the drummer and bass player in that band are able to, you know, I do the and they kind of can get something that sounds cool. And yeah, we might actually play that song. Yeah, I love Britney Fox. Good pick. So I'm with Cinderella. Britney Fox, Cinderella, and I feel like it's Lynch Mob or something. Okay, moving on. My number one pick, or not my number one, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. My first pick is a classic. I'm going to tell you it's the Bruce Springsteen of hair metal.
Oh, it's Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi's New Jersey.
Jersey, okay.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know why. That's a great album. I mean, some of those songs on Jersey are like, are they Born to Run? Probably not.
No.
But for that genre, dude, they're pretty cool. The story, you know, there's some, I'm trying to think, because sometimes I'll confuse Slippery and New Jersey, but New Jersey had stuff like Stick to Your Guns on it, you know, and they were starting to get, I think Wanted Dead or Alive is on Jersey. It is? No, it's on Slippery. Sorry. Hang on. I might need I never do this, dude, but I might need a track list of
Slippery When Wet, I think.
Yeah,
I don't even like Bon Jovi.
I know you don't, which is weird. I don't know what's wrong with you because they're rat. What do you hate?
Heather last night, I didn't like a lot of the pretty bands. I didn't like Warrant very much or Poison that much.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay because I have some of that too. But my question to you, sir, is you gotta appreciate that. I can't believe you don't like the songs.
I mean, I like Runaway as a great song.
Yeah.
Wanted Dead or Alive is a great song.
So again, I never do this, but
like the Halfway There, Living on a Prayer. I mean, he didn't write that. Come on.
So I'm going to give you this. I'm going to tell you that here's some singles off New Jersey. Lay Your Hands on Me.
Yep.
Born to Be My Baby. You were born to be my baby. Bad Medicine.
One. Yep, remember that one.
Living in Sin. And I'll Be There for You, which is a fantastic ballad. But the songs that really got me on New Jersey were not singles. There's a song on it called Blood on Blood, which is like a Springsteen tune, you know, blood on blood, one on one, you know, and I'll be here for you. It's got some lines in it, like, you know, and here's confession time. Are you ready for another John confession? The song Blood on New Jersey. I mean, I don't know that I've ever like specifically really ripped an entire song. I don't think I've ripped off a song as much as even the Gaslight Anthem. And I love Gaslight. But on Breathe, there's a song called Never Go Back. And I sort of was thinking of Blood on Blood by Jovi, because there's, it's got that teen thing, like, well, I can still remember when I was just a kid and we're friends forever. And what you said was what you did. It was me and Danny and Bobby. We cut each other's hands, and
Yeah.
just this whole blood brother thing, and Stick
Yep.
to Your Guns. Wild as the Wind is on here. Ride Cowboy Ride. They were starting to get a little cowboyish right here, because I actually, Stick to Your Guns, Wild is the Wind, and Ride Cowboy Ride, I actually thought they were like maybe trying to cop that Wanted Dead or Alive feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it worked.
Well, he
But
did
anyhow,
that. Didn't he do some stuff for the Young Guns 2
he
movie?
did the whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyhow, so Bon Jovi's New Jersey. What do you got next?
No Rest for the Wicked, Ozzy.
I almost had it, dude. I
It was
almost
my
had it.
first Ozzy record.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So you are dying. We were talking about this recently too. Because I believe No Rest for the Wicked had Crazy Babies and Miracle Man were the singles.
Yeah.
Does that feel right? Yeah. Dude, that was when I met Zach, right? That's when I
Yeah.
saw him for the first time, and I just thought he was the dude. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
that
killer.
was my grandma drove me to BIM. So, and I bought that and Master of Puppets.
I feel like No Rest for the Wicked had Bloodbath in Paradise on it, maybe.
Yeah.
And did that have Demon Alcohol on it?
Demon Alcohol.
Let's party. That's a
Yep.
great tune. That was Zach. What a great fit for Ozzy. And I must admit, I didn't warm up always to Jake E. Lee. I love him now, and I loved him in Badlands. I was a little, I don't know, man. I was sore about,
I think I
because,
felt the same way. Yeah, I think a lot of people did though.
and
It's
Jake
hard.
he's killer.
And
He's
it
a
wasn't
killer.
even, and that's one of those things where it's not even their fault.
It wasn't his fault, because Jake is a great
Just like
player.
the guys that replaced Steve Clark to me it was never the same.
Yeah, and I love Vivian Campbell too. But
Yeah.
the thing about Zach that I liked is I could tell he was a Randy Rhoads fanatic. And
Yeah.
But yeah, like on No Rest for the Wicked, I think he put his stamp in there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because Crazy Babies has all the pinched harmonics. It's kind of the blueprint for Zach Wild.
Right.
So yeah, what a great album. Love it. Should have been on my list. I didn't have room for it because I had to put things like NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
Oh.
So Straight Outta Compton and Easy Does It, Easy's solo record, they came out in '88, both of them. I had owned the NWA and the Posse, which I've told the story a million times. I thought it was like Weird Al because it was so raw and stuff. By the time Straight Outta Compton came out, I realized that they were serious. Like this was happening. Straight Outta Compton, this had Fuck the Police on it.
Yeah.
I said that like really, fuck the police. But Straight Outta Compton's on there. Of course, with the Police is on there. Gangsta Gangsta's on there. It had a couple tunes that were from, I think 8 Ball was on there, and one other tune that was on NWA and the Posse. And this was a huge album. This was a platinum album, and you got to say, an underground, even Ice-T, who had.
That's what I had first was Ice-T. In '87, I bought the record. It was Rhyme Pays.
Yeah. It had 6 in the morning on it, right?
Yes.
6 in the morning, police at my door.
Yep.
So you had that, right? You had Ice-T and stuff. And I had NWA and the Posse.
Yep.
But when Straight Outta Compton went platinum, dude, that's a watermark moment. They toured it. They toured this album. There was a tour for Straight Outta Compton.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. Like rap didn't really do tours much. It's so hard to do that, to transfer that from the studio to make it sound good, I think.
I agree. And that was the thing with like that tour was huge. They had a set, it looked like a prison yard almost. Yeah. So NWA and the Posse and Easy Does It by Easy. I mean, it sounds funny me saying that. I'm sure people are like, oh, this poser. But what they don't understand is in 1988, as a metalhead, I was also starting to learn that some of my metal friends, my metal heroes, Anthrax, bands like that, were rap people. They were into rap,
Yeah.
and License to Ill had been out already, which was a
Yep.
huge album for me and a lot of middle class white dudes in mid America here. But NWA Straight Out Compton. I just told the kids at school in one of my elective class the other day, they just have no idea what that meant. What it meant. I mean, it was the light that eventually, was going to be shown that this was really. I didn't think it happened, dude. I didn't think just because you were a person of color, you got stopped for no reason. I didn't think that happened, dude.
Right. Yeah.
And I have all and not to get too, we never get political and social or anything like that here, but I just grew up with such a respect for authority, and I still do truly have respect for law enforcement and what they do. I couldn't imagine that real corruption like that happened on the streets. I was too naive.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, Straight Outta Compton showed me that. What do you got next?
Cheap Trick, Lap of Luxury.
You know what, dude? I could have had that. Does that have
It's got the flame. It's got the flame. I mean,
dude, that's a great.
The only bad song really on that record, and it's a stinker of a song, is No Mercy.
Does that album, does Lap of Luxury, forgive me, does that have Can't Stop Falling Into Love?
No, it's got
Woo!
Don't Be Cruel,
which is cool. Is a cool
yeah,
cover.
Their cover.
That's a cool
they
cover.
they do that one that the one that Charlie Sexton did originally.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, Lap of Luxury was not a huge album for me. I love Cheap Trick.
It's worth it for the flame alone. My God,
that's a great band. That's just all around.
You know what song? Oh God, is it Say Goodbye? This we didn't mention it on the breakup albums last episode. Is Say Goodbye from the '97 album? Wouldn't you consider that a breakup song?
Yes. What was the
like
97? Was 97 the self-titled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like another version of The Flame, like a newer version, but
The Flame is killer. And
yeah.
this is what I forgot too. Not forgot, but kind of
like the first track on there is Let Go. That's a great song.
Yeah. Well, Cheap Trick did get, like, they had a late 80s career resurgence with The Flame, with Don't Be Cruel. They were on MTV.
Yeah.
They were playing Spring Break. And they were already Cheap Trick by then. You know what I mean?
Is that song No Mercy? It sounds like an 80s movie soundtrack song. Or, I don't know. It
probably was. Because, Cheap Trick had done
They did a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah, they did music for Up the Creek.
Yep.
That had, I think, I Can't Take It, which is one of my favorite songs by them.
Yeah, they did some bad soundtrack songs. But
we won't judge.
Overall, they were brilliant, but yeah.
They're always
Lap of Luxury was, that's about where I kind of, slowed down a bit on Trick, probably.
Me too.
And then 97, that record got me, way back.
I had Woke Up with a Monster. That's a good album.
Oh yeah,
is that the later one?
That's got a clown on the cover or something? Oh my God, yeah. That cover is scary.
My next pick. This was a huge album. Huge. I owned a t-shirt, wore it all the time. They were, if you'd asked anyone who knew me, they would tell you that they were one of my favorite bands. Living Colors Vivid came out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I really got hooked on it. I liked it so much. I liked, Vernon Reid is awesome.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, he had a jazz combo that was playing the Detroit Jazz Festival when my son played, but my wife had a broken foot and she wasn't walking about the Detroit Jazz Festival. We went and watched my son and we got out.
Yeah.
But Vivid was cool, man. I mean, it was rock, hard rock. It had killer guitar parts. All my friends were into it. Plus, I mean, some really socially conscious lyrics.
When did that come out? Was that like 90?
What, Vivid?
Or no, 88.
88. Yeah.
So there was something else similar to that came out at that. Was it like an NXS record that came out?
I don't know.
I remember the big singles then were like Cult of Personality and
Was Never Tear Us Apart, maybe? Was Kick? Did Kick come out in
oh,
88?
maybe Kick came out around then or something, but
I loved Living Color a lot. And I should have done
there
some
was
research.
two from that record though, wasn't there? Singles or more?
Yeah, there was Cult of Personality. There was I think a song called Glamour Boys. I ain't no glamour
Yes.
boy. I first. And I
They had a
actually,
video for that too, I
yep,
think.
I
Yep.
actually think there was a song, Open Letter to a Landlord, that was really good on there. There was another one too that was a single. Yeah, they were cool, man. And I was, even when I got into college, Living Color in the music department was still pretty big. People were really into them because the album after Vivid, and I can't remember what it was called now, Time's Up, maybe. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what it was called. That had some good songs on it too.
There's a very popular pro wrestler named CM Punk that
I remember that.
uses that Cult of Personality as his walkout music.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
What's your next pick?
It is the Bullet Boys self-titled record.
Damn, now there's an album I should have had on here. There's an album I should have had on here. That was my mistake because that album, I wore that record out.
Yes.
Wore it out, man.
Remember
Wore it out.
it wasn't a cover like bluish color. I
Yeah, it
think
had the apple, had the bullet go through the apple.
Had a bullet going through an apple with a
Yeah.
bluish background.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, obviously, Smooth Up In Ya was the
Yep.
biggest single. I heard, funny you say this, because I watched a little like mini documentary on Bullet Boys last night. I think this album peaked somewhere in the 30s in
Wow.
Billboard. The two singles were, of course, Smooth Up, and then the cover, the cover of For the Love of Money, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The opening track, Hard as a Rock, that's a great song. They opened the live set with that for years. There's also a song, I think it's called F sharp 9.
F sharp 9, yeah.
And it's
24
named
Blues, that's the one.
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. The other thing that this has, I'm embarrassed to say that I thought this was so cool back then, but I really did, is where Mark counts off one of the songs. 1, 2, fuck you.
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
that was so cool. I'd have it cranked up in my car because I'm stupid.
Crack me up. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those like
they
that.
were killer. And that album, they were discovered by Ted Templeman and signed by Ted Templeman and produced by Ted Templeman, who was the Van Halen, famous Van Halen producer. The other thing about that Bullet Boys record that I really like, if you listen to it, it's recorded pretty much as a 4-piece, meaning like when there's a guitar solo, there's no rhythm guitar. It goes just to bass, like the first Van Halen record did.
Yeah.
And the other thing about that album that we always have to talk about, to me, is Jimmy D, the drummer. He owns
Mick
that.
Sweet is badass too.
Well, they were all like Mick and Lonnie were from King Cobra, I think.
King Cobra, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Killer.
well, was Mark? No,
he was actually, Mark tried out for Ozzy after Randy.
Oh, really? Oh, on guitar. That's right. I forgot he.
I guess this documentary said he's just a real butthole. But he's in the new Bullet Boys, which is just Mark and a bunch of guys, road guys. He plays guitar.
Okay.
He plays guitar and fronts it. And he still looks great
Cool.
Really cool. And those songs are still excellent songs.
I saw those guys once.
I never did. I would have loved to because I
saw
love
them
that.
with it was Cinderella, Bullet Boys, and Winger.
See, I got that scene. I wonder if I did see. I'm running out.
It was at the State Theater in Grand Rapids, or State Stadium Arena.
Okay. Yep, I remember.
Grand Rapids, which is now the Deltaplex.
Oh yeah. I saw Striper there. Let me see where I'm headed next. Here's a timely one. You ready for a timely one?
Yeah.
Jane's Addictions, Nothing Shocking.
Nothing Shocking. I think Secor had that on our Facebook.
That's such a. That was as alternative got back in the day for me, right?
I wasn't there yet with them, so
Dude, I loved them. And it was one of those, alt rock kids in my school at some party, some kegger or something, busted out, coming down the mountain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, what is this? And then I bought it and I was into it. And I think I within the last month or something, I commented on our Facebook page. I had forgotten how much I listened to Nothing Shocking and a Ritual Diablo, that second
Yeah, yeah.
album that had Stop on it and Been
Yep.
Caught Stealing. And of course, my favorite Jane's Addiction is the EP, the live EP. They have a live EP where they do like Pigs and Zen, which is on Nothing Shocking, which is a great song.
Yep.
Whores. They do a cover of Sympathy for the Devil. They do a cover of Lou Reed's Rock and Roll.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very
I don't
cool.
know if
So
I have that. All right.
I was big into Jane's Addiction for a hot second. What you got next?
This one I was not listening to, but I didn't discover him until 91, but Copperhead Road from Steve
It's on
Earle.
my list. It's
Yeah.
on my list. I mean, again, and I've also put the asterisk by it because I wasn't listening to it in '88. There's no way I was listening to Steve
I
Earle in
didn't get it into my friend Rick got me into that record in 1991. So
You know the thing about that album and about some of Steve Earle's '80s output, um, the production is a little dated sounding.
yeah, my first Steve Earle record was The Hard Way, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that has Billy Austin on it.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, that's a great tune. Copperhead Road also had The Devil's Right Hand, which is still
Yes.
one of the coolest songs ever. Copperhead Road is, I mean, it's one of those songs I'm always like never gonna play again, but I enjoy it too much. I'm always it's just everyone covers it. God, there's some shitty covers of that song.
And yeah, and
mine
it's
included.
it's a lot of people only know that song by him pretty much too.
Which is a shame. I mean,
I know.
Copperhead Road is a great song. There's no way it's Steve
But
Earle's
there's
best song.
far better records than that one too.
Oh,
even
way better, dude. Way, 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 way better. But Copperhead Road is still, it's the breakthrough for Steve Earle.
It's a fantastic record. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but it's
Yep.
the one of the first ones after he got clean, isn't it? Or
Oh
got
no,
out of
no, no,
jail?
no, no. He was still using.
Was he still using it?
Oh
This
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was still a pretty good train wreck then.
It happened once before, but it was chemically induced. One,
Dude.
two, 1, 2, 3, 4. That
Have
was
you ever
snake oil, I think.
Have you ever seen his MTV concert where he went back to the prison he was in?
Oh no, I've never seen that.
It's killer. It's killer. He's friend. He hadn't been out a terrible amount of time, and he looks good, you know, and clean, and the songs are cool. But yeah, he, you know, man, I think in the pits of his heroin addiction, he was pretty nasty business.
Yeah.
But he's Steve Earle, and he's cool as shit.
Yeah.
And he always be cool, always. And you're right, you can't just like Copperhead Road and call yourself a Steve Earle fan because you're missing out on so much.
Man.
Oh, good one. So we matched on that. I wonder.
I knew we would at least one.
Yeah,
I think there might be one more, but we'll see.
I think so too. I wonder if you'll say it. I wonder if you'll have this album. Here, staying with just came off Jane's Addiction. You know, I was dabbling in alternative music quite a bit. Then I tell the great story about the girl in my U2 shirt. You know, when I walked by and she went, "That's our band." But this album was a big one for me. It was REM's Green.
Yeah.
Because dude, and of course the I think Stand was the hit, right? Stand in the place where you are.
Stand was later.
No, it was not.
Wasn't it? No.
No, sir. It was on Green.
Okay.
Are we gonna
Orange Crush a single for that record?
Are we gonna? Yes, it was on there. I've got my spine. I got my orange crush. So the singles were I think Orange Crush and Stand. But there was a song on there called Turn You Inside Out. I could turn you inside out. That's a great tune. There's a ballad called You Are the Everything. There's a song called Get Up. Pop Song 89's on there.
That's a great one.
So yeah, that REM Green. REM's Green is just I
wasn't into them yet either.
Yeah, loved them. I was hooked already.
Not till probably 91 or something.
What do you got next?
I have Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche.
I almost had it. And it is by far, I mean, you would agree with me, that is just the jammy jam of all jams.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that too. I consider them the heavy metal Pink Floyd. Am I the
Yes.
only one that feels that way?
No, I agree with you.
And we were also talking about singles off that record, off Operation Mindcrime,
I don't believe in love.
which was the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Revolution Calling, was that a single?
that was a single. Yep.
Yeah.
What's my favorite song on there? I think it's called Sweet Sister Mary. She
Yep, that's a
always gives me what I need.
yep.
Yeah.
Without a begging sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. There I got hip to Queensryche off a compilation way before that, and it had a song called The Lady Wore Black on it.
Yeah.
Then I recorded off MTV, again, this is early, video of Take Hold of the Flame.
Yep. Did they have a video for Queen of the Reich too?
I don't know. I've never
Okay.
seen that. The video for Take Hold of the Flame is live. It's from a live concert in Japan. And it's
Okay.
killer, man. It's live too. It's one of those live videos where the audio's from the show. Like really good. Mindcrime, I think I got into Eyes of a Stranger's on Mindcrime, isn't it?
Eyes of a Stranger.
Yes, that was a single. I was into him. By then I was super into him. I only saw him once. Saw him on the Empire tour. They played all of Mindcrime. And Jeff Tate's coming to Elevation to do Mindcrime.
Yes, I saw that. I saw them.
Are you gonna go to that?
I think so. I'm gonna try. I saw them on this tour in 88 or 89 with Suicidal Tendencies at Kalamazoo State Theater.
Ooh,
And
how was
then I
that?
saw them again in Empire Times with Typo Negative at the Palace.
Yeah, I just saw the Empire tour, and it was Queensryche and Warrior Soul. And
Okay, yep.
that's
That
the
was in
show
Muskegon, I think,
yeah,
right? Yeah, yeah.
that's the show I always talk about because Warrior Soul at that time, Corey Clark, very political.
Yeah.
And it was during the Drugs God and the New Republic tour. And I loved Warrior Soul already because I had Last Decade Dead Century. Here's a BIM. I got it off Concrete Marketing cassette. Remember getting those?
Yeah. The Concrete Corner.
Yep. And and then I didn't buy, I took the cassette promo from BIM.
Yeah, they had free ones that sat there. Yep.
White cover, black, promo.
Yeah.
And then I was they got booed at the LC Walker Arena. Corey was ranting about, what was it at the time? Bush, maybe?
Probably 92. Yeah, or no, on 88. 88.
Well,
yeah,
this
Bush.
would have been
Bush Senior.
88, 89, something like that, 90
Bush
maybe.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah, he's bitching, and people were booing him, so that was, but again, Queensryche, I was telling the guys recently too, but dude, they were one of the best sounding live bands I'd ever heard.
Oh my God,
they sounded amazing. They had the video screen, they interacted with it. It was really cool. So yeah, good pick. I should have had that. Here's another one I wasn't listening to in 88, but is the absolute killerest. I mean, just the peak for me. The self-titled album 88 from Lucinda Williams.
Yes.
It has The Night's Too Long on it, which was covered. That was covered by a top 40. I think Patty Loveless covered it, top 40 country. So
yeah, I think so.
Passionate Kisses is on it, which was covered by Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Yep.
And it Changed the Locks, which was covered by Tom Petty. And then one of my favorite Lucinda songs of all time is on this, The Crescent City.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's had a few. And my first Lucinda album was Sweet Old World. And then I ended up with this. And the thing I liked about this was just her imagery. Like in The Night's Too Long, there's a line in The Night's Too Long where, I think it's with her back against the bar, she can listen to the band, and she's holding a Corona, and it's cold against her hand. I mean, it was so vivid. And Lucinda Williams is, one of my heroes. Probably should be the measuring stick for any songwriter, artist, certainly female singer-songwriters. I think they all could do themselves a favor to listen to Lucinda.
Yeah.
The other thing is, as recently as Rock and Roll Heart. She's still putting out great. Rock and Roll Heart's a great album, great
Great
songs.
album.
Yeah.
And she was so hungry then,
Oh,
and you could hear it, and it's just fantastic.
yeah. She was. I was madly from Sweet Old World, and I'm madly in love with Lucinda Williams. Madly in love with, love, 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 and still just love everything about her. She's so respected. She's held in the highest esteem in circles of people who know about songs. So, what do you
Yeah.
got next?
Testament, The New Order,
I knew you'd have a Testament album. I never got into them.
their second
I
record.
know one song, Practice What You Preach.
Preach. Yeah, this had Disciples of the Watch. I don't think that was a single. I think The Preacher was a single and one other one. There's a couple instrumentals on there. Musical Death is one, I think. It's a lot of it was the music is Alex, and it's great. It's their, big lineup.
What
Oh,
tier
so
are they? Are
what's
they
that?
second? Are they second tier thrash?
That's what they're considered, the kings of the second tier.
Because they're not the big four, but
But
they're
but
damn
they're better
close.
than Anthrax. So
Easy, easy, easy. Don't talk
and
crazy. Don't
I
talk
mean,
crazy on the
if
show.
you want to talk about thrash albums, they're better than Metallica because Metallica stopped putting out thrash albums in what, 1989?
Well,
What
actually,
was the last thrash album? Justice?
well, let's move on. My next pick is Metallica's "And Justice for All." um, dude, I don't know. I don't. So of course
My third favorite.
we can say that "And Justice for All." We can agree, please, that
It's not
mainstream.
thrashy,
No,
really.
no, 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 no. It's prog rock.
Yeah.
Um, that, but we can agree that "And Justice" put Metallica on the mainstream map
Yes, with one. Yeah.
with one. Um, I personally like stuff like "Eye of the Beholder," "Blackened" is on here.
Blackened.
I think this is a great album. We can all agree that the lack of bass and Jason Newsted is criminal.
Yeah, and the
I
clicky
should,
drums.
dude, that clicky ass kick drum sound
Yeah,
just really ruined a lot of records for me
it
because
did.
everybody, there were guys in my day, like I'm playing live by this time or damn close. No, I'm playing live. And all anyone can do is there are dudes putting shit on the back of their kick drum heads to get the click from that. There are guys who are there were no more John Bonham sounding bass drums. Those were gone. And if you listen, like the clicky kick drums on Injustice, you'll hear them on like Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah,
Like production wise, Injustice is grossly flawed. Song wise, very complex, cool stuff.
yeah, great songs.
And Justice though is the reason the Black Album is the Black Album, because I think Metallica just got to the point where I remember reading interviews where they're like, we just couldn't play that shit live anymore. Like it was just too much to keep straight, and because there's so many changes and
Yeah,
parts, and um, but I loved it, and I mean, it was a huge album, dude. And you know what's funny is in the time that it came out, I don't remember a ton of people saying, I don't hear bass on this. Like, it seemed to be okay. Nobody really bitched about it until, I don't know, till maybe Newstead established himself and people were like, this
yeah,
dude is. And I was still, when And Justice came out, I was still hurting because I liked Cliff Burton so much. But my hometown glommed on, especially my school glommed on to And Justice because we all went to school with Newstead's cousin.
right.
And
Everybody went to school with somebody that knew Newstead.
well, get this shit. This is a true story. And I should have this dude on the show because he's in the music business. His name's Brian Roth. He is an
Oh
honest
yeah,
to God.
I've heard that name.
That's his gig. He is a true, music producer. And I used to go down and jam with him in his basement. And he was very, very musical and talented and gifted. And I was not, but he would jam with me, which was a huge rush for me. He played bass. They were hard to come by. He had a drum set. but I would jam with him sometimes. And then we didn't jam a couple days. I went down there and there was still shit laying around. And I'm like, oh, who'd you jam with? He's like, my cousin was in town and Newstead was at his house.
Mm.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then when Metallica came to the Walker Arena, I was not, Brian and I were friends, but we weren't close friends like that. His close friends all got, hang on, dude, we got to stop a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody watching this thing, we're stopping. And I got to fix the audio, real quick. Let me hop out of here, see what kind of trouble I can get into here. I would tell you to talk among yourself, but there is no talk among yourself. Again, hey, you'll be glad to know this, viewers and listeners. Well, listeners won't be getting this part, but viewers will. This is why you wanted video, right, Scott? So we could have moments
yeah,
like this. You'll be glad to know that I have computer repairs happening right now. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm due. I can't help it, dude. This is like, I don't know why. It's just the least of my concern. I know that sounds stupid. I just don't think about computer shit until I'm here and it goes, your recording's aborted. There's no more space. Let me see. I'm going to listen. This will be good. This is a real special moment for our viewers, people who watch us, because they can see how it works, where I listen back and try to drop us back in. All right. So we were talking about that. And now I'm going to try to create this flawless climb back in where I was talking about Brian. We weren't friends like that. And I'm going to resume like nothing happened. Viewer, this is the kind of stuff that happens to us because of my shitty tech skills. Okay, I wasn't friends with that. So I'm going to continue on my Brian talk, and here we go. But Brian's friends who were close to him all got snake pit passes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
To go see Metallica. They saw him from the pit, so that's really cool. All right, so that was my Metallica pick. What do you got next?
Cinderella, Long Cold Winter.
That's 88?
Yes, sir.
Is Long Cold Winter Gypsy Road?
Yes.
And Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone?
And then Last Mile, I think, were the three singles. Yeah.
Is Bad Seamstress Blues on that, or is that on
track one?
Track one, yeah. They open with that a lot, too.
Did it for mock rock in high school.
You did that? Bad Seamstress Blues? Oh, nice.
Yeah. We wore dusters and cowboy hats. And
oh, yeah, the whole thing. Killer. We've talked about that band so much. I don't know, man. They're still... I mean, obviously Jeff is gone now. I still think Cinderella as a band could go out and play bigger shows than even Kiefer does. But Kiefer's got he's on it, man.
I know a left-handed guitar player that knows all those parts.
Man, I'll tell you what, dude. I love Cinderella. And you know what? If they put Cinderella back together and they put Tony Higbee on guitar, I wouldn't be pissed at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at all. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be badass. Absolutely.
Because Tony and Tom Kiefer together on guitar, those guys are classic.
They already do it in his solo thing. So
yep. I mean, they do great versions of Coming Home. Is that on that? Is that on Long Cold Winter? Now, I'm coming home. Yeah. Oh man, what a great record. Good pick.
That's another single. Yeah, that's another single.
Yeah, Coming Home.
They had the video where he about froze to death, didn't he?
Oh, was that the one where
I think so.
I think you're right.
He said he about got frostbite.
A lot of cool 12-string guitar parts on them too.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's great. They're great. They were a great band.
The Kings, in my opinion.
Yeah,
the Kings of hair metal.
I would argue with that. They're
to Scott.
They're cool. This album, my next album, every time in high school, of course, I told you I had a street bike, had a motorcycle. Every time I rode, I would sing one of their songs in my head, because these guys, to me, were, I'm going to say something heavy duty right now. They were to me, they were cooler than Guns N' Roses. They were grittier than Guns N' Roses, sleazier than Guns N' Roses. And in 1988, their LA Guns self-titled album came out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that had Show No Mercy on it. Show No Mercy. It had Electric Gypsy was on it. It had I think it had I'm not sure if it was on this record or Cocked and Loaded. I feel like it was on this record. Had I Want to Be Your Man. See me coming down the road.
Didn't have Rip and Tear. That was
Yes.
on. Did it?
No, you're right. Rip and Tear was on
Cocked and Loaded.
Was on Cocked and Loaded. Yeah, that
Okay.
had Ballad of Jane. And are we sure about that? Now I'm having second thoughts. I'm now starting to think that that debut record might have had because Sex Action was on the debut. Oh, right? Yes, it was. It was. And Rip and Tear was on Cocked and Loaded. Oh, you know what else was on the debut LA Guns record was Yo, You Give Me One More Reason. That's a killer tune. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, so the Sex Action, I'm embarrassed saying that. That sounds stupid when you say it, but it's a great song. Electric Gypsy was on there. That's the one I always listen to because in the video they were riding motorcycles and being cool.
Would that be on the Songs in the Backseat compilation, Sex Action?
Sex Action? Oh man, for sure. Dude, I don't know why. I mean, I'm a huge LA Guns fan. I think Tracy Guns, I've said this online on several posts. He's like a hair metal Jimmy Page, man. He's got great tone. He's a great player. He's a he's a student of the game, you know. I mean, he's a fan and gets it. And LA Guns deserved more. They weren't a second tier band. I mean, he's the Guns and Roses.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyhow, that I had LA Guns debut, one of my favorites. What do you got next?
Blow My Fuse from Kicks.
Oh, we covered that. That had did they have Don't Close Your Eyes?
Yes, track 4, yeah.
That's a great tune. Plus Blow My Fuse is a great tune.
Yeah.
Oh man. They retired, but that was I would put them in that league with Tesla, Cinderella, Kicks, certainly. Those were bands you could count on to always deliver live, to always sound cool. They never, even Kicks never got super image driven, I don't think.
No, they never really. No.
They were, of course, everyone was a little glammed up, but plus they had two of the best guitar players, man. I mean,
oh, dude.
Brian Forsythe is amazing. And the singer, Steve Whitman, he delivered right up till the end. He was always singing. He sang great. He looked great. And I don't know how old he was last year when they kind of hung it up. But, I mean, he was still putting on Mick Jagger level shows, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great band. Good pick.
Yeah. Back in the day, they had Brad Divins on bass.
Who was that other? Ronnie Jenkins is the other guitar player.
Yeah.
He's sweet, too.
Brad went on to form Wrathchild America.
Oh, yeah. That's a band you talk about a lot.
And then Wrathchild became Souls at Zero.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool band. Good pick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rolling into my final one.
I have one left also.
And this is the one I wondered if you would question me about. It's the soundtrack to a movie that I went to see in the theater. It's the only time, and I saw 2 big rock and roll movies in the theater. And I'm not counting like La Bamba and stuff like that, or the Buddy Holly story. But I've told the story. I saw Scorpions Worldwide Live in the theater, in our theater.
Oh, yeah.
Buy a ticket movie, not a special showing. It was up there with all the other movies of the time.
That's
but
right.
I also, when I went to see U2's Rattle and Hum, people got up and danced in the aisle.
Wow.
And the album Rattle and Hum is, it's a soundtrack. So it's still got like Pride in the Name of Love, but Desire is on it. Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Is that the one where that has there's a song the Beatles stole from?
Yeah, this is a song Charles Manson stole from the Beatles. We're stealing it back.
Yeah, that's on there, isn't it?
My wife hates U2. She hates them. She hates Bono with a burning passion. And anytime she's putting them down, which could be anytime she's awake because she hates them so much, she's always talking about how freaking pompous Bono is, and her first line will always be like, "Here's a song Charles Manson stole from the Beatles. We're stealing it back," you know. There, the Edge sings a song on there, Van Diemen's Land. Like I said, there's a live version of Pride. There's also a great cover of Helter Skelter, the Helter Skelter, what we're talking about right now. There's a song on it called Silver and Gold. Their live versions of the songs are tougher and cooler than I think some of the recorded ones. There's a lot of, you know, they break songs down, and he not talks, but, you know, like in Silver and Gold, he breaks down Silver and Gold. This is a song written in a hotel room outside of Johannesburg, you know, and he's into all that, you know.
Yeah.
But Rattle and Hum is still one of my favorite albums. It's getting to be this time. Usually in the fall, I break Rattle and Hum out and listen to it again. It's one of my seasonal albums. Rattle and Hum is in there with King's X's Out of the Silent Planet. I'll listen to those together in the fall.
There you go.
All right, what's your last pick?
Dirty Looks, Cool from the Wire.
Never a big fan. I know you were.
Love
you
them.
were.
God. Rest
Did
in
they
peace,
have a
Henrik.
song? Did they have a song called Nobody Rides for Free?
That
Nobody rides for free. Is that? There was a single. They had a single, an MTV song.
It might be. I know that song, but I get all those bands, a lot of them mixed up because they're
C tier.
Probably. I mean, these guys, if you liked Bon era AC/DC, Faster Pussycat, bands like that, you're gonna like these guys.
I think they had
They're
a song
from Pennsylvania.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, Henrik the singer's from like Finland or something, but
I think they had a song called Nobody Rides for Free. Nobody rides, but
they might it's not on this record. It might be on like Screw It is Danger, isn't it? Turn Up the Screw is one of their records.
I remember them.
It might be later.
So Dirty
Not on this record. This record had like Oh Ruby, Cool from the Wire, It's Not the Way You Rock, Tokyo.
They live in a place where a couple other bands that I think I saw about the same time, like maybe on MTV. There's a band called Thunder. Remember them?
I don't remember Thunder. No.
Yeah. They had a song called Dirty Love. I don't want your dirty love anymore. So Dirty Looks lives with them. Also lives with a band called the Killer Dwarfs that were around. But
I remember that band, but
I forgot that you're a Dirty Looks guy. You
love Dirty Looks. That's
yep.
You know how we've talked about the show? We did our mainstream Rolling Stone top 10 favorite albums of all time.
Yes.
If we did our NMD top 10 list,
that's you.
That's on there.
Wow, high praise. Really?
One of my favorite albums of all time.
I wonder if I didn't give them enough of a chance. That could be.
I didn't.
I could owe them. Oh,
okay. You didn't.
The man has spoken.
You didn't. Listen to the song It's Not the Way You Rock from that record, and then you'll be it's AC/DC, it's Faster Pussycat, it's all that mixed together.
I'm gonna listen today.
It's Crocus, it's all of it.
All right, I'm gonna listen today. I'm gonna try to remember to listen. I have a drive coming. Well, 88, man. Good times. I got to figure out one of these days. I'll remember what. Yeah, I guess I must have been a sophomore in high school. That feels right. 16.
I mean, there was others that I was listening to. You know, like I told Heather, I was like, I might not include the Steve Earle. Because I actually was listening to Them by King Diamond.
Oh yeah,
but it's just I don't listen to it anymore, really. And like I was listening to like Heavy Nova from Robert Palmer, but it's so dated.
Yeah.
It's so dated.
I wonder what year that Power Station album came out.
The first one with Bang a Gong, that was 86, maybe.
Oh, it was that early. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because then they did the second one, and that was it.
Did we ever talk about, and it'll be another show to have this discussion, but when the guitar player Andy Taylor from Duran Duran went solo and had a song called Take It Easy on Yourself.
That's right.
It was
He
from
plays on the new Duran Duran.
oh good. I just saw
Like
Duran
on a
Duran
new
cover
track.
something.
Him and oh, what's his name? Um Warren Cucurullo plays
Oh
on the new
yeah.
Duran
Oh
Duran
yeah.
too.
Because he replaced Andy on guitar, right?
It's yes,
He
it's
was in
only
Missing
like
Persons.
I just listened to like 4 or 5 tracks from it this morning.
And and
It's like 5 covers and 5 new. It's called Danse Macabre,
hmm,
which is also a ghost song.
which one of my
Um,
favorite ghost songs.
yeah. But the song Dance Macabre is cool. The song like Nightlife or something like that is cool. But they do a cover of oh Evil Woman.
There's another cover they released as a single recently. I just saw it pop.
They do a cover of oh God, Psycho Killer, which is not for me.
No, and
It's
it's almost too heavily covered for me.
well, it's that and sometimes and there is certain bands that do Psycho Killer that I love. Like I think Velvet Revolver did it, which and it was cool. But sometimes and you I think you'll agree with me on this. Sometimes there's songs that just don't need to be covered.
Of course. Yep. 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 It's all kind of there. And what's the point?
But
Yeah.
it's like I love Weezer, but like them doing Toto, it sounds exactly like Toto. I might as well just listen to
My
Toto.
son just said to me last night that people hate the Teal album, which is that cover as album, and he really likes it. He likes all their and the
I might as
covers are
well
great.
just listen to Toto though. They didn't do
Yeah.
anything to it.
No, they didn't do anything to any of those songs. They play them pretty
So
much note for note.
that's the same I feel about Duran Duran doing Psycho Killer. It's like I'd rather listen to David Byrne sing it.
Yeah. There's nothing
But
new
Mr.
happening.
Blotto does it from Chicago and it's kick ass. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know, Duran Duran could put a stamp on it, I'm sure, but maybe they just missed the mark. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
There's another cover they do on there. I don't remember what it is now, but
I
there's
got to
like
look it up.
five originals and 5 covers.
I saw a cover tune go by. I know I did. It was a Duran Duran cover, maybe a video or something. Well, anyhow, well, that's 88, man. 88. I was driving my
There's a
1986 Z24.
speaking of covers, the Testament does an Aerosmith song on the New Order.
Really? What is it? Do you
Oh
remember?
God, what is it?
Not
I
like
gotta look it.
Seasons of Wither or something.
No, it's a song Steven Tyler wrote, I'm pretty sure. Was
Uncle
it?
Salty or something.
What's that?
Said it's not Uncle Salty or something like that. I don't know why.
Oh no, from Toys in the Attic. No, it's Nobody's Fault.
Oh yeah. That's good too. That's good.
Yeah.
Too.
I think Tyler and Brad Whitford.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, they do that on that record.
That's cool.
You know that Testament was called The Legacy before Chuck Billy joined, and then he joined and they called
then they made
themselves
an album.
Testament,
Then they
and their
made an
first
album
album was called The Legacy.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I did not know that. Well, you got any parting words for us there, 1988?
I knew there was a first taker on this album somewhere.
All right, everybody. Take care. See you next time.
See you next time.